Now, Jason's other idea, I think, is a pretty solid one. Purgatory seems shaky, but Chidi banging the judge to get them out of this trouble, because she has made it very clear that she's into him, is a really solid idea. The best part is that Jason says he's done it a bunch of times, and they call it a Jacksonville plea deal. Welcome back to another episode of The Rank. I'm John, and today we're going to be doing the next episode of The Good Place. For those of you who are new to the show, I'm going to give you a quick agenda here. So we start with the potent notables, which is just a couple interesting facts or tidbits that I found out about the episode or series. Then I do the episode overview, which is just me talking about the episode. And then I go to The Rank, the namesake of the show, where I rank the episode in 5 categories on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, all to find out what's the best sitcom of all time. And today we're going to be ranking the 10th episode of the 4th season of The Good Place, titled You've Changed, Man. Written by Matt Murray and directed by Rebecca Asher. Now, just so you know, there are spoilers ahead, so if you want to watch it beforehand because you don't want spoilers, please do so, but just so you know, spoilers ahead. But let's find out how this one stacks up, starting with the potent notables.
Potent notables.
So this episode aired Thursday, January 9th, 2020. Jason's line,
"Shawn, you used to be cool, but you've changed, man."
It took over an hour to film because the cast couldn't stop laughing. When Manny Jacinto first delivered the line, it caused a few snickers, and Jacinto built off the energy, adding crossed arms and other melodramatic gestures and voice tones. Each subsequent take grew more and more over the top until the entire cast was in hysterics. Reportedly, Ted Danson was in tears from laughing so hard. Michael Schur arrived to work shortly after and was stunned to learn that not only was filming an hour behind, it was behind because of a single line. Alright, and finally, some more Tahani name-dropping tracking. Apparently, Tahani was in Portofino with Bruno Mars, LeBron James, and Dr. Ruth Westheimer. LeBron performed a successful tracheotomy. The song won multiple Grammys, and everyone was really happy. This event gets alluded to again in the episode when Tahani says that she talked Dr. Ruth out of suing Bruno Mars for stealing a song from her. But we never get to hear the full thing. Alright, those are the potent notables. Let's go to the episode overview. So as expected, we open the episode right where we left off the previous one, with the judge going into each Janet's void looking for the Earth reboot clicker thing. Of course, the judge is also always bringing up pop culture references, and it really makes me wonder why she'd be so willing to restart the whole thing. What I was thankful of is the fact that Janet tries to use this to convince her, which would have annoyed me if the show hadn't done that. Janet specifically mentions that rebooting Earth means she loses not just Justified, but Timothy Oliphant. This actually gets to the judge, who says that he's 50 gallons of man in a 10-gallon hat, which I really enjoyed. While the judge goes through each Janet's void, Team Cockroach is trying to get Chidi to come up with an afterlife idea that's equitable. Now, this is the type of thing that should give Chidi an immediate ulcer, but he's super chill now. And I gotta agree with Jason here. I like chill, confident Chidi. We get a real sweet set of I love yous between Chidi and Eleanor, and then Chidi's off to the races to nail down this idea with the rest of the crew. And while Jason's contribution of it being a bummer was true, that's not really what they're looking for, and the essence of the problem is that the cruelty of the punishment doesn't match the cruelty of the life that one has lived. So they need to figure out a balance. It's actually Michael that comes up with the idea first, that they bring back the medium place. Basically, Michael comes up with purgatory. Now, Jason's other idea, I think, is a pretty solid one. Purgatory seems shaky, but Chidi banging the judge to get them out of this trouble, because she has made it very clear that she's into him, is a really solid idea. The best part is that Jason says he's done it a bunch of times, and they call it a Jacksonville plea deal. I mean, that's good stuff. But they're going to go to the Good Place committee to get them on board, and they're just on board with anything. Though I did really enjoy Chidi telling them to shut up because he's confident now. So the Good Place committee is easy. The problem is Shawn. Shawn refuses to agree to the medium place idea, so the judge continues on her quest to find the reboot clicker thing. So the team regroups and comes up with another idea. Basically, purgatory again, but it's a constant rebooting for people to earn a spot in the Good Place to become better people. Of course, they have to have Janet conjure a Timothy Oliphant in her void to get the judge to listen, but once again, Shawn is the problem. He turns them down again, so all hope is lost, right? No, Michael realizes that Shawn needs to know it'll really end, that Team Cockroach is giving up before Shawn's willing to give in. Once Michael makes him realize this, Shawn tells Michael that the most fun he's had in a long time has been fighting with him, and he doesn't want to lose it. So with that in mind, they go back to the judge right before she can press the button and say they're all in agreement. We get a great little joke here from Shawn where he says, hey, there's still some kinks to work in. That's the end of the episode. Seems like it all ended, right? Like the whole series? But there's still 3 episodes left in the season. What else is there? Well, they leave the cliffhanger of the episode as who will implement this new vision. So I guess that's where we're headed. But before we head there, let's find out how it ranked.
Oh, wait.
So the rank is where I rank the episode based on 5 categories: story, acting, dialogue, episode coherence, and character relatability. I rank it on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best, and then I have a laugh counter where I tally up the amount of times the episode made me laugh out loud. 1 point per laugh out loud gets added to the score. But before I dive in, I just want to say, if you're enjoying this episode, please leave a like down below. Pressing that thumbs up really does help us out. So without further ado, the first category is story, which I gave a 5. This story answers the question of how to make the afterlife better, and they're able to come up with something that Shawn and the judge will agree to. I mean, it's pretty awesome. So let's go to acting, which is a 5, because it always is pretty much. It's just always incredible. The acting is just great on the show. I don't really know what else to say about it. So let's go to dialogue, which I gave a 4.5. Really good as always, maybe a little too reliant on Jason being stupid in this one. Sometimes they do that, but this one felt a little more egregious than normal. Not saying it's bad, by the way. I just didn't think we needed him for the levity breaks. So let's go to episode coherence, which I gave a 4.5. Coherence was great, especially for the arc of the episode. It made sense from beginning to end. The only reason I'm knocking it down from a full 5 is because, well, Chidi's maybe a little too cool. I don't know. It's explained and everything, but he's just so chill. I loved it, but I just don't know that I buy that he wouldn't at least be nervous about this whole thing. Also, Jason really not grasping what's happening here feels almost a bridge too far. But these are really minor things. Let's go to character relatability, the last category, which I give a 4.25. Jason is the reason it's not a 5. I just struggle with his inability to grasp the gravity of the situation sometimes. Like, he played around with the reboot clicker thing and he rested their case after some silly nonsense. Just hard to relate to that level of stupidity. Everyone else was relatable. All right, so some decent scores in the rankings here. So that leads us to the laugh counter, and it had 16. So it's a pretty good laugh counter, and that puts the episode total at 39.25, which means it's a holy grail, just below the meaning of life. This puts the series average at a 37.8, which is also in the holy grail. And if you're ranking along with me, drop your score for this one in the comments. So thanks for listening and or watching. Now, if you'd like to see a list of our episode and series rankings, you can do that on our website at therankpodcast.com. And for those of you who have been watching for a while and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and or follow if you're enjoying it. For anybody else out there, you can comment or shoot me an email at info@therankpodcast.com with questions, comments, suggestions, and I will reply to you if you want me to. Please also consider becoming a patron on our Patreon site at patreon.com/therankpodcast, where you can get access to all of our archived episodes. But I will leave you with this. Why did Shawn get caught trying to get Ray, Dave, Mick, and Pete into the new purgatory place?
Why is that?
Because he was trying to get the Kinks in. The Kinks are a band, in case you didn't know that, Antonio. So if you want to find a picture of the band.
No, I don't think I will.
Yep, okay. Shawn refuses to agree to the medium place idea, and so the judge. Cut! Shawn refuses to cut! Shawn refuses to agree to the medium place thing. Cut!
Take 3.
Shawn refuses to agree to the medium place idea, so the judge continues on her
We're gonna be here a while.